Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Canada. Happy birthday to you.
Native Canadians are believed to have migrated from Asian lands about 11,000 years ago.
As Canadians, we tend to think that we know John A. Macdonald. He was the mastermind behind Canadian Confederation. He pushed through the construction of a transcontinental railway, and he wrote much of our Constitution.
Around 100,000 Bangladeshi origin people are living in Canada. Professionals were the first immigrants from Bangladesh who began to migrate to Canada in the 1960s. Some came to Canada for higher education as well as professional training, and then settled down as immigrants. The migration increased over the later decades and reached its peak in the late 80s. Immigrants from Bangladesh to Canada fall into two categories, the workers category and family category. Bangladeshis live primarily in major cities like Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, Regina, and Ottawa. Many Bangladeshi Canadians have also earned a name in business. Apart from medium and small business establishments, one can see Bangladeshi restaurants, groceries, boutiques selling clothing and other goods everywhere in Canada. Culturally, the Bangladeshi Canadians are also very active, which can be evident in their observation of all Bangladeshi national festivities and other programs. A number of Bangla weeklies or quarterlies are published either online or in printed version from the major cities in Canada.
Canada is a multicultural society, is one of the few countries in the world, for that matter, that has a fairly open door policy. I came to this country myself when I was only 9 years old, a very long time ago. And we came to Canada when there was a lot of hard work for immigrants, poverty and struggles. Some racism, I don't think we can pretend that that doesn't exist, quite a lot sometimes. And but I was able to go to university as a mature student much later, but was able to do that and build a career in community as well as in my own profession of sociology, and ultimately as a politician. I was the first Italian-Canadian woman to be a minister in Canada at the national level. For someone who came here at the age of 9 from a country not speaking a word of English, not having any experience outside of Italy, to then be able to, many years later, actually be a parliamentarian, a member of parliament and a minister, is something that I'm not sure many other countries you would see this in many other countries. We are unique in that way. That doesn't mean to say that multiculturalism is perfect. Today, there are still problems of integration. There's many immigrants who aren't able to find jobs in their own profession and are struggling. But overall, we have a philosophy that diversity are strengths, not a weakness. So these kinds of things I've seen in the Bangladeshi community and many others. The Bangladeshi community started arriving actually while I was a member here in the early 90s. There were not very many, but certainly slowly many more arrived. And now, of course, there's a very large community in Canada of the Bangladeshi community. So in a way, I've worked with them and watched the community establish itself, become more sure of itself, become successful. BCCS is an organization that is young, it's new, but it has been very successful and it's showing its strength more and more in the community. This is usually an indication that our community is becoming of age. When they begin to have their own organizations, their own agencies, that begin to self-help and assist their own communities, both to celebrate their culture and their heritage, but also to provide assistance for those members of their community who do need some assistance in many different ways. And this is a strength, again, that I see as the community becomes more and more established. And, this is an indication of success. And it's also an indication of the success for Canada, for the larger community. Because as they become members and participate in the larger community, as they become stronger, they strengthen all of us and strengthen the country as well.
When I came to Canada, the thirst of dance and teaching dance and performing, it was all inside me because I was new and I didn't know what to do. Then I tried to open a small dance school in our Bangladeshi community. We have students from Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, Nepal. I'm so thankful to Canada to giving me lots of opportunity to perform lots of places. Dance doesn't need any language. Like whoever will dance, we enjoy it. Doesn't matter which country, which language, nothing. And a big thanks goes to Canadian Multicultural Society. Thank you so much to fulfill my dream.
The 10th President and Vice Chancellor of Western University, Amit Chakma, was born in Rangamati, Bangladesh. After graduating from Algerian Petroleum Institute in 1982, he obtained his master's and PhD from the University of British Columbia. He is an expert in areas related to petroleum research and energy management. In addition to his roles at Western, President Chakma serves as a member of the Science, Technology and Innovation Council of Canada and as a council member of the Association of Commonwealth Universities. He is the past chair of the World University Service of Canada and was the inaugural chair of the U15 Group Canadian Research Universities. He also served in 2012 as the chair of Federal Government Advisory Panel on Canada's International Education Strategy, which helped to inform the development and launch of Canada's new International Education Strategy. It was unveiled in January 2014 and titled Harnessing Our Knowledge Advantage to Drive Innovation and Prosperity. In 1998, Amit was recognized with Canada's Top 40 Under 40 Award. He is also a Fellow of the Canadian Academy of Engineering, and he received the Queen's Diamond Jubilee Medal in 2012 in recognition of his contributions to Canadian post-secondary education. In 2014, he was named RBC's Top 25 Canadian Immigrant Award winner and became the first Canadian university president to receive the Michael P. Malone International Leadership Award.
আমি যখন এখানে আসি তখন আমাদের আন্ডারগ্র্যাজুয়েট ক্লাসে ইন্টারন্যাশনাল স্টুডেন্ট ছিল লেস দেন 3%. তো আমি যখন আসি মাত্র 3% ইজ টু লো. 100 জনের মধ্যে মাত্র 3 জন থাকলে ইন্টারাকশনটা তো বেশি কিছু হবে না. তো আমরা এখন 10%-এ আছে. আমাদের নিয়ার টার্ম গোল হলো 15%. তারপরে দেখবো কত দূর যায়. তো সেটা একটা প্রজেক্ট ছিল. আমাদের ইউনিভার্সিটির মেইন রেপুটেশন হলো এখানে আমরা আন্ডারগ্র্যাজুয়েট ছাত্রদের লেখাপড়া শেখার একটা ভালো পরিবেশ তৈরি করে দিই. So you have to put in effort to be a good teacher. Even the very best teacher, if you don't spend time, number one, নোটগুলি প্রিপেয়ার করতে হয়. অনেকে ভাবে কিন্তু নোট একবার প্রিপেয়ার করলে হয়ে যায়. But if you want to be a good teacher, before each lecture, you have to focus what you want to teach, how you want to teach.
I came to Canada in 1982 after I graduated from University of Dhaka, and McGill University gave a chance to foreign students to come and study, and I came as a foreign student to Canada. Eventually, I ended up staying here, ended up getting married. I was used to work as a security guard from 11:30 at night to 7:30 in the morning. And then from there, I used to go to a law firm. I was lucky enough to get a job at a law firm, and I used to work there from 9 to 5. So it was 80 hours a week, working from I would say 10:30 at night till 6 o'clock in the morning. And then I went back after 10 years. I had enough money, and I could go back to law school. And I asked my boss at Green and Spiegel, and I said to him, could you please help me So I did that for 3 years. I worked full time. I studied full time. I had the key to the office, so I would go at 12, 1 o'clock at night and work and finish the job that they would expected from me. And I finished my law degree and got my bar and opened my law practice. We are equal in all respect. If you have a will, there is a way in Canada.
I'm very happy to have had the opportunity to celebrate the first ever Bangladeshi Heritage Month here at Queen's Park and to talk to the Bangladeshi community about all of the diversity that we have in this province and how they are a part of it. And we're so grateful for the businesses and the supports and the education.
BCCS is a not-for-profit organization, charitable organization, serving in this community since 2010. Our mandate is to provide settlement services to help the newcomers and long-term residents to integrate into Canadian society through knowledge and skill development. A special focus on South Asians and Bangladeshi to help them to integrate into society.
I was fortunate 21 years ago, granted entry to great country we call Canada. A humble invitation from Canadian government was granted me for my IT expertise. As I heard before about Canada, I was able to excel my field by giving back to the community and establish a small business called IP World. This is truly a land of opportunity, and I strongly believe that anyone can give a great life with all necessary human rights and fully protected under our beloved Canadian government. I would like to take this opportunity, say thank you, Canada. I'm proud as a Canadian.
I moved to Canada 16 years ago with my family. I started my career in Canada in New Brunswick. Then later I spent few years to Nova Scotia. I was very lucky to have the advice and mentorship of many wonderful people along the way. I'm currently a practicing physician in a very busy and rewarding practice in Toronto. And I'm very grateful for the opportunities Canada has provided to me. In Canada, my family has had the independence and the support to fulfill our potential and pursue our dream. My wife was able to go back to school, make a career for herself. I have 2 daughters who went to university, medical school, and medical residency training in Canada, are now practicing physicians in Toronto.
Hi, my name is Shibu Chaudhary. I came to Canada around 25 years ago. I came to this country actually with my own dream and goal. But in the beginning, actually, I was struggle. But Canada is such a beautiful country. They accept me, whatever my desire or my dream, I try to fulfill. But I believe I did. Because I have 3 daughters, all of them graduated from Toronto University and one of the York University, one of them got lawyer also. And so is it only possible because it's Canada, and we got a lot of help from the Canadian governments to establish my family. Established one of our biggest temple in actually Bangladeshi temple in the North America, which is called Bangladesh Canada Hindu Mandir.
My name is Aisha. I'm heading into grade 12 this year, and I go to Sir Wilfrid Laurier Collegiate. I was born in Canada, actually in Toronto, but both my parents are Bengali Canadian immigrants. As the daughter of an immigrant, obviously, it's multiculturalism in Canada is not only important to me, but it's a crucial part of my daily life. So at home, I'm kind of living immersed in Bengali culture, and then I go out the door and it's completely different. But the fact that we have communities here like Danforth, like Bangladesh Center, where I can really get in touch with my native culture is very helpful, and I can also share that with people. So I think I started at the center about a year and a half ago. As much as we'd like to think that multiculturalism in Canada means you can stay in touch with your roots, it is.
Presently, I'm employed as a site manager of a non-profit employment service provider, which is considered as a leader in this industry. And this organization provides a lot of services for newcomers and other people who are looking for jobs. I wouldn't be able to establish myself in a very relevant field in this country unless the government of Canada provided people like us with so many opportunities to find a job in relevant fields or sustainable fields. I would invite the young population of Canada, no matter they're newcomers or they're born in Canada, to take the advantage of different programs run by the government and non-profit organizations to help them build their careers, right? There are numerous programs. One is called YJC, like Youth Job Connections. There is one called Youth Job Links, and there are so many programs, summer job. So Canada is open for youths in terms of helping them to build their careers.
My name is Farhana Khan. I'm a sole parent of 4 children. I live in Canada for 30 years. I'm raising 4 children. My elder son is a student of Western University. I have a 9 years old and I have a 6 years old twin boys. And I'm so proud of them and proud to be their mother. And I'm proud to be a woman just because of Canada gave me opportunity to love myself and respect myself. I do community work, I do events.
We currently live in Toronto and run our own businesses in Toronto. But the original, the family is from Bangladesh. And, well, we kind of moved in Montreal, South Shore, back in late 60s. Most of my brothers, sisters went to school there. And I went to school in Michigan. I did my bachelor's there, part of my master's. Well, Wendy's had bought out Tim Hortons in Canada, so that became the same company, and became a franchisee back in '95. Yes, '95, and just maintain the same thing. Still run, operate, and own Tim Hortons business in Toronto. Currently, the kids are going to university. The oldest son goes to school in Boston, and our daughter goes to university in Toronto, in downtown. And Tim Hortons was growing a lot of stores in suburbs of Toronto, Scarborough, and the surrounding area, Markham and those areas. So part of the reason that grew very, very well, and I think that's part of the reason that we have done very, very well. It's one of the country in the world that multiculturalism really works very well.
I always had a dream of doing something of my own. And I think to be successful, or I would say to be satisfied in life, people need to have a dream. I had a dream that someday I would start something of my own, and that something would be different in the sense that it is not a copycat, something new, something completely unheard of. So I wanted to bring a medical device or get into medical device business, because that's what I was doing all my life. I invested all my money that I had, I earned in UK and Singapore, and I put in the business. I run a medical device company. I employ about 10 people right now here. I have a branch office back in Bangladesh, and we distribute a couple of very, very, very innovative medical devices, both doing diagnosis for liver. One is a non-invasive liver diagnostic device, one of its kind in the world. We were the first to bring it into Canada, and also then we took it in Bangladesh. We have over 100 plus machines in all over Canada, and we are doing it since 2006. It's been 11 years, and we have been very successful. Our company won the Best Distributor Award twice over the last 11 years. But again, being a brown skin, being a Muslim from Bangladesh background, I didn't face that many challenges. And this is a clear, very strong example that there is a very strong multiculturalism flavor, mosaic in this country.
Good afternoon, Poet Ashish Choudhury. We know you are one of the most reputed poets in Bengali literature, and we also know that you are an immigrant in Canada. Why you like Canada?
So far I know, here I didn't feel for a single moment that I'm a minority. I don't mean minority religiously, or linguistically, or culturally, or ethnically. Minority in any sense, in every sense. Here, each and everybody is enjoying, I think, fully they are exercising their values, human rights, etc. And here the authority, they encourages to develop their own culture.
কানাডা হচ্ছে সেই দেশ যে দেশে আমি আমার মতো করে বসবাস করতে পারব। এখানে কেউ আমার ধর্ম নিয়ে চিন্তিত থাকবে না, কেউ আমার জীবনযাপন নিয়ে চিন্তিত থাকবে না, আমাকে আমার মতো করে থাকতে দেবে এবং এই দেশ আমার নিরাপত্তা বিধান করবে।
In the first place, I came to Canada after taking a job at Norsk Hydro. I'm a citizen of Norway, and I came from Norway. I was here for 3 years. After completion of my contractual period, I found Canada to be a wonderful country.
Hi, this is Faisal. I got a chance in Canadian national cricket team.
Oh, Canada!